All right, today's date is March the 30th of 2021. My God, what a year all done ready. All right, if you are watching this, then you got some favor on you because the way this YouTube and Facebook be fucking with my algorithm is a darn shame. All right, my name is Larry D. Reid, and I'm the host of Larry Reid Live, your most favorite entertainment digital news and talk show that is on these social media streets. Make sure that you are following me so that you can see my commentary on whatever is going on. It is unique commentary and unique to my lens. I'm a Black father. I've been divorced. I've been married. How many years was I married? I'm married for 18 years. I pastored a church traditionally for 20 years. I'm a Stellar Award nominated gospel artist. I got some degrees behind my name, earned degrees, and there's a whole lot of stuff. Oh, I've suffered abuse, molestation. I had a rape when I was a young teenager, and what else? I've been a hoe. I've been a womanizer. I want a womanizer. No, I take that. No, I ain't been that. I was young. You're young, you do something. But I've done a whole lot. I own several. I've started several businesses. Let me say it like that. I've done a lot of things in this country and in other countries and in other churches. I've done so much. So my lens is unique. It's a unique lens. And you might learn a little piece from it. At least I make you think. At least I make you think. So this is what you need to do. Text the word Larry Reid Live. It's right there. Larry Live is camera flip. So this is my left. It look like, yeah. Larry Live to this number, 33222. Let me tell y'all something. Oh yeah, I almost got into the conversation. Text Larry Live to 33222 so I can text you whenever I come live like this. And take a moment right now and hit like and hit share because I tell you how the algorithm be just messing up stuff. Be just messing up stuff. So much it be messing up stuff. I want to talk to you. I'm going to try to keep it really short because this just came to my mind to talk about. It wasn't planned. In fact, this evening is what was planned. As of yesterday, my mentor, my coach, my spiritual father is going to be with me and my subscribers in Patreon. And we're going to be live and having a conversation. The conversation that we're going to be having is going to be about something. I ain't going to tell you what it's going to be about. I don't think. It may slip out my face in just a little piece, but you don't want to miss it. Over there in Patreon, we have some of everything going on over there in Patreon. There are people who have been made millionaires through the pandemic by listening to my advice and the advice of my experts and my spiritual father. There are people that have remedied their whole entire soul because I bring therapists over there to talk to people over there. And it got so intense last year because this platform, I'm gonna use the word predicted, but I don't want to, that we will be going into a pandemic before science declared it one in the month of February and knew that we'll be wearing masks and things of that nature and to not trust anybody on the TV talking heads because they'll be telling a lie. Now all this stuff is coming out now. But if you're an LRLer, you already know it. And then kind of find out my mentor had wrote a book in the 80s and 90s that foretold it to a T. And we went through that book, March, April, May last year. So many things happened. But in the middle of that year, out of Patreon, my subscriber base, I had to start a church all over again last year. So then I had to hire some of my old pastoral elders from the years when I was pastoring the Breakthrough Church and hire them, put them on staff, for the counseling, for calling, doing personal prophecy and personal prayer. We've done that last year. And so not only do we have the Patreon subscribers over there in Patreon, but out of that last year, a whole entire church started. And yesterday around about 3:00, I went live with them. So this is why you got to be in Patreon. I'm talking about Patreon. There's stuff be happening there. You don't even know all this be going on. You don't even know all this going on. See, have you even watched reading things my way. That's 12 episodes where I went through my whole life. There's so much stuff you don't know. You need to go over that Patreon. You can watch it free versus paying $2.99 for each episode. Go on over there, Patreon, and sign up. And sign up for the year so that you be locked in for the long term. So I went live over there at 3 o'clock and I began to share with them some of the things that is happening in my life. And I think yesterday was when we called those members. The church was established last year. And I told y'all right here on the platform, but we actually gave it a name yesterday. I don't know if we're going to make that public. I think it's just I'm going to extract the people out of Patreon, because those are people who really connected. So I don't know if we can make that public. We'll see. But we talked about everything yesterday. So if you're over there on Patreon, you know everything that is going on. If you ain't, you don't know. And your portfolio probably looking raggedy. Come over there, get some help. We even had a real estate guru over there on millions of dollars in property. And he went to talk to us over there. That's some of everybody over there. So you need to come over there. We got doctors, judges, a whole lot over there. Bring your whole hand. Bring them hips over there to Patreon. At the top of this video or the bottom of this video, if you're on YouTube, there's a link for you to sign up on Patreon. And probably the admins are posting the link, the patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. If you click that, you can go ahead and sign up at 4 o'clock today. 4 today. My spiritual father will be over there having a conversation with me. And I know we're going to discuss some of the, if you were born at a certain time in the year, you're a certain kind of person. You may don't have the science connected to that. We can talk about that. And of course, we're going to talk some things concerning money, because we don't want nobody broke. Nobody connect me. I don't want nobody broke. Okay. So many things we disclose over there in Patreon. If y'all think of some, put them down. Put it down in there. I saw you did come on with it, Reid. You know I take the long way to Walmart. Now just wait. You know I ramble when I talk, but you can't miss none of the rambling, or you're gonna miss something good that your soul needed. Somebody said, "Oh, that's Deborah said you won't be upset if you join. You're gonna make your $12 back in 3 months. I promise you. You're gonna make it back." All right. Is that all I need to say to open up this live? Yeah. Okay. Now, I don't know, but somebody done hit a button, and for some reason, every person, I ain't gonna say every person, but a lot of the people that I have known, I'm 43 years old, but I've done a whole lot. I've always been a leader or somebody a little bit special in the community. And so I have worked with a whole lot of different types and kinds of people. And as a result, I've met thousands of people and worked closely with hundreds of people in our country and in other countries. And lately, I've seen as though people are reconnecting to me and reaching out to me. And it's been very interesting. It's been very rewarding and a great look at the past in a great way. And there was a particular teaching that I did when I was pastoring, traditionally, like I'm pastoring now. But I had forgot all about it. But we began to talk about it and it came back. And this was what it was. I was talking about the lessons that if you are striving for the mastery. Now, if y'all are paper Bible saying have been to church a little piece, you already know the scripture. Just go to BibleGateway.com and type in the word mastery. And you get the scripture. We don't do that out here now. Patreon, we would have went there. But I just want to talk to you a little bit about that, because I think it was a great conversation I was having through text with a few different people, and one particular person from the past. And if you want to be, how many of you guys want to be a master? If you want to be a master, I want you to type in there and say, I want to be a master, or say I am a master, or I'm a burgeoning master. I'm really a master, and I am learning lessons. I'm going through training. I'm becoming better. I'm reading books. I'm sitting at the feet of gurus. I'm constantly signing up for self-help things, to get better and be my best self and be the greatest manifestation of myself. Okay, good. So I'm talking to the right folk in here. So you need to stay here at least 20 minutes so you can get all of what I'm saying. You might need to drop down and ask me a question at some point during time. Well, in this particular conversation, and it was on the back of this particular scripture, I said many years ago, I forgot that this was literally, I want to say 15 years ago, or maybe 16 years ago, when I talked about this. I talked about there are 3 lessons that you must learn if you want to be a master. Now, I'm only going to mention 3 lessons, but I'm pretty sure there's so many, and you can never exhaust this topic. So I'm just talking about what I talked about 15, 16, however many teens of years ago it was. But if you are in here and you know that you're a master, or you are a blooming or burgeoning master, and you know that you're striving for the mastery, like that particular scripture said, you need to listen to what I'm talking about, because there are 3 lessons that you're going to have to learn. And I also want to invite you guys over. I remind myself to do that. How many of you up here? There are 1,459 of you up here between Facebook and YouTube. I need everybody to hit like right now and share, so that more of the people that follow the platform can know that this has went on. I want everybody to know. Okay. Now, these are 3 lessons that you're going to have to learn. The last lesson is going to be the most important one. And I'm just talking. I'm not trying to teach, like I probably would in Patreon, but I'm just sharing this out here with you guys because I want you guys to know about this, because I want to strengthen the community. I don't want to just make you laugh and entertain you, but I want to educate you sometimes. I want you to learn as much as you laugh from this platform. One of the things that I noticed as I look back over my life, there was a particular lesson that life was trying to teach me. Because a lesson is basically a whole bunch of teachings or a whole lot of information. But life was trying to teach me a lesson, and I won't pay attention to what it was trying to teach me. And then on top of that, I wasn't in the practice of what I heard, or what I was reading, or what was being modeled in front of me by people in authority. And one of those lessons is a money lesson. The 3 lessons that I'm going to talk about today is the money lesson, the people lesson, and the character lesson. So these 3 lessons you're going to have to learn and then pass the test, TESTS, that are connected to being exposed to these lessons, because the lesson is information, it is teaching, and life has been ordained by God now. I don't care if you believe in him or not. Life has been ordained by God to teach you a lesson. If you don't learn it sitting in no classroom, if you don't learn it from sitting at the feet of somebody greater than you, you're going to learn it if you just pay a darn attention to life, because life is a master teacher. Can y'all type that and say life is a master teacher? Type that in there. Life is a master teacher. And most of us is not paying a darn attention. Most of us just ain't paying attention. Life, let me see it. When I see it, then I go on to the next thing. Life is a master teacher. Okay, there you go. I see a couple of people doing now. Make sure, Kenny, you block these. Y'all, we got a huge problem going on as relates in the MBN network and with the Larry Live platform. We're having my personal page, my brand page, all my business pages are being cloned, and we're getting these crazy people. If you don't see my face and know that it comes from my page where there's a lot of followers and subscribers, that ain't me. And I don't inbox folk with prophecies. I don't do that. So you make sure you please report these pages. Report them as spam or impersonating somebody right now. Life is a master teacher, and life will be trying to teach you a lesson. Have you ever noticed, I'm going to ask you a question, go about the money lesson, because this used to happen to me, and I blamed it on the devil. I blamed it on demons, folk working roots or witchcraft against me, and it was just not that at all. Do you remember a time in your life, or are you at that place in your life where you notice every year, at a certain time of the year, you are in a certain place financially every single year, or maybe every 2 years, or maybe every quarter. And it looks like you can never get your money to a place to where you are participating and in some ways manipulating the flow of money, and you're in control, managing, because money is a current. There are currents happening in the air around me right now that I cannot see. And we can't really see them when it happens in the air around us, except that some leaves or some dirt get in it, and then we see it moving. But money is a current like that, and it moves in a cyclical. Am I saying that right? Let me say a circle, because y'all know my tongue don't be doing right. And it moves in a circle now. And we should be participating in that movement consciously and able to manipulate. Maybe that's not a great word, because we always connect that word with darkness. But let's say we should be able to participate and control and manage how that flow happens in our life. But I can remember for a period of time in my life, it seemed like that every time at this particular time of the year, or after a space of time, I always come back to this particular place when it comes to money. I also noticed that as relates to me and money, there were some things that hadn't been worked out. I had some thoughts about money. I'm gonna tell you some of the thoughts I had about money. Because I was raised poor, we were raised in a trailer. And where I come from, a trailer does not necessarily mean you're poor. It is cultural in the country for everybody to have a trailer. Some have nice ones, some have bad ones, some have modular homes, whatever. But we were raised in a single wide trailer, and this thing had holes in the floor, holes in the walls. Now, shout out to my parents, to Darryl and Ethelene Reid, who made sure that we always ate. Now, what we ate, now that's debatable, but they've done really good as parents. We live with the rats, and we live with, one time there was a snake in there, but it was practically being outside all the time with just a little piece of material between you and the element. And that's how I was raised. And from what I saw in my community, anybody who had a lot of money were not as good as people as my mom and dad, and were not as close to God as my mom and dad. So in my mind, I thought money was unholy. And the way that people who had money treated my parents and treated me made me think that having money means it's evil. So I had all that stuff going on with me when it came to money. The first time God blessed me to have, I literally gave all my money into the ministry and into my businesses, and then away to people. Because I would put people in apartments and houses, pay for weddings and pay for colleges and stuff. Because I thought, if God gave me the money, I didn't see it as God giving the money, to tell you the truth. If I had the money as a result of what I was doing, then I'm supposed to take it and hand it out to everybody. And that's what I did. And I never had any fiduciary responsibility to and for myself. Did not take care of myself. So I had all these money lessons that I needed to learn. And they were all tied to the way that I saw life and how I moved. And it also was connected to my sense of self. Also, my money allowed me to, play a little bit in my addictions, was one of the main ones at that time. And then came through the sexual thing, and then it was the food. And I still have to deal with that right now. Y'all do not know how much it takes for me to have a plate stopped in front of me and don't eat the whole thing. It's like when somebody hand me a plate, I'm like, oh, this is my YouTube award. But somebody hand me a plate. I'm like, oh, this is mine. You love me, thank you. And the plate sits there, and it just looked back at me. And then all of the plate says, eat me up. I look over there at the size, it says, eat me up. I look over there at the main course, it says, eat me up. I look at the drink sitting perfectly in the corner of my plate. It says, drink me up. Do you know how much self-control it takes for Larry Reid to not eat up and drink up everything? Lord have mercy. Well, don't let me get off on that. So I had the lesson stuff I had to learn. Has so many. Now I can talk about lessons surrounding money and the things that I learned. Messing up, I literally could not keep money in my account. That's one thing I had to learn. I had to learn how to have thousands or hundreds of dollars at the time. It's a different stage of my life. Sometimes it's hundreds of thousands in my account and act like it ain't there. Because I don't know what will get in me. It's like, I'm like, oh, I have this idea and that idea because I had extra money. It's like I had to spend it. Even if it wasn't on myself. I don't know how to explain it to you, but there was something up when it came to me and money. I just could not keep it. And it sometimes I could run away from me. So I had to learn the money lesson. And if you're going to be a master, those of you that type in here and say you a master or you are burgeoning master or a blossoming master, you're going to have to pass that money lesson. It also deals with not only conservation and management, but it also deals with multiplicity. If you're a master, you must be able to multiply money. You must be able to multiply it. So it's the money lesson. So if you're going to be a master, you have got to absolutely, you got to pass the money test and learn the money lesson. You got to pass the money test and learn the money lesson. Oh, I owe money test. Oh my God. There's so many I can tell you. There's so many laws that are connected, spiritual laws that are connected to money. I don't care if you're here, you ain't no Christian. There are certain universal laws, and they're in our Bibles as Christians, in our paper Bible, that control, maybe control isn't a good word, that determine money. Certain laws that if you follow, money will multiply, money will disappear, or money will stay where you put it for however long you put it. Remember, it is a currency, so it's going to be moving, but you need to be in the management of it all. So you got to learn the money master. If you're going to be a master, you got to learn all of the money lessons and then pass the money test. Even as it relates to giving, a lot of you don't know that you're supposed to put your money where you want your money to circulate back to you and return back to you. And it's almost like seeding. That's why we call it a seed. And there was a time in my life where anybody who had a need, I thought I was supposed to meet the need. I was giving more to the poor than I should. And next thing I know, poor showed up in my life. But that's I ain't got time into all of that. Okay, the money lesson. Second thing is the people lesson. Jesus. I won't pay attention. Because the lesson knows a whole bunch of teachers, and life is the master teacher. Life was showing me how niggas are. What did I say? Life was showing me how niggas are. I was not paying attention. You would think that I would know, being that I've been violated at an early age, that I would know that people's just not right. And they're criminal, and they mean, they lie, they cheat, steal, they jealous, they envious, they obsessed, And another thing I didn't learn about the people, I wasn't paying attention, that people are giving, they're kind, they're loving. I was not paying attention. I'm trying to tell y'all. I was not paying attention. But life is a master teacher, giving you the lessons. And this people lesson, I was not paying attention. So some of you watching me, you want to be a master, or you know that you're called to be a master, and you're not in your mastery yet in a particular area. Now, there's some areas that I'm a master in, and there's some areas I am becoming a master. And you know that you're a master, that you got that area to where you can, in your sleep, you can make that thing happen and multiply. And a proof that you're a master is that you have students. and that you have people who have applied what you have said, and now they came into their own mastery. The proof that you're a master is that they're around you are students, or at some point other masters. I'm the master in what I do in my company of prophets or spiritual community. But then I have a master prophet, Ebenard Jordan. He is a master in his company of prophets, and he's my mentor. So how that thing, if you're a master, you actually don't find one master sitting over here and nobody, knows that he's a master. There's nobody, who has benefited from what he said and won't sing his praise. There's no brand advocates. So if you in here talking about you a master and you the only person that call you a master, chances are you ain't. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, I'm going to do what I'm saying now. People aren't paying attention. The master teacher life was not, I wasn't paying attention, was trying to show me and teach me the people lesson. Now pastoring, pastoring in the little box called a church for 20 whole years taught me about people. Then when I came out of that tradition and began to do things my own way, man, I learned something else about people. And then I began to sit with people who did not look like me, didn't believe like me, especially, I say pastor, but really it's the counseling part of pastoring that taught me about people. And then I had to learn how to walk with friends, walk with enemies. I had to learn how to forgive those that had done me wrong. I had to learn how to sit in right done wrong silently. Now y'all know silent. I don't do silent good. I don't do silent good. So it's a spirit that got to be holy and all powerful to make Larry sit in silence. Nope. I'm not sitting in nobody kind of slide. I don't want to sit in silence. I do not like quiet, nothing. I only got nothing quiet. Say something. Huh? What you say? Speak up. We in the bedroom. Don't be sitting there. I need you to make some noises. Make sure you let me know that I know my sensitivities is on the right level. Shiver, shake, something. Some sign. It used to be an old quartet song. Say, if you love Jesus, you ought to show some sign. If you're not talking and engaging and making some noise and saying something back to me, I feel like what is happening here? So I don't like silence. I like talk. Huh? Say something. So there is a spirit that is holy and all powerful. If Larry can sit silently, because it ain't in me nowhere. Listen to me clear. So, but all of this is people lesson. Somebody called me. I forgot. I told you people come out of woodwork. Somebody called me the other day. And I will say their name, but I don't know if they're okay with that. But when they left my ministry and left my home, it just wasn't pretty. And they said some things. I'm sure I said some things because, I don't do silent well. And they called me to apologize. They done got older. Apologize to me and say, I'm so sorry for saying da-da-da. I said, you know what? And this is me. This is me, because I love hard. I said, you know what? That was bad. But I still love you. Ain't no love change. None. I didn't like what you did, but I didn't like it, couldn't stand it all the way up to this phone call. So the moment that you called me to say I'm sorry and recognize, how can I hold that in my heart? Now, I ain't always been that person. I'm going to tell you how I'm Aquarius. I'm shoot. Now, I love everybody. My arms open to the whole world. But once you get me one good time, it's over. But I forgave it. It wasn't that bad. So I forgave. I mean, I said some stuff, but I forgave it. That's now, 2021. I want always that person. You know why I can do that? Because I learned the people lesson. And some of you are dealing with toxic situations for the purpose of learning the people lesson. Plain and simple. I'm like, it's always something. Every man I choose, you ain't learned the people lesson. Every job I go to, someone they always, nope. It's not just them. That is crazy, but you ain't learned. You have not learned. LERNT, learned. You ain't learned. And as a result, you keep going through the same old thing. Life is the master teacher, teaching us lessons. Number one, money lesson. Number two, people lesson, paid their attention. Ooh, and that really sort of takes us into the third lesson. That's the character lesson. And this is really the master principle of these three, because, and really the master lesson of these three, because if your character, if you're working on your character, you see what I'm saying? I'm saying that really anointed. If you're working on your character, I'm almost saying it like Bishop, what the man that sat down from Kojic? Bishop Blake. If you work on your character, I mean, for real, you're gonna look inside whenever you're faced with the people lessons or the people test or the money lesson or the money test, because as you are, how really is how all things is. And so if you are working on yourself and becoming better and better and better, now I'm gonna tell you this. If you're flawed and you've been through, especially have childhood trauma, you are going to show up a little twisted and sideways at some area in your life, especially in your marriage and in your closest relationships. You're gonna not show up right. When you realize that, forgive yourself, which is just as important as having somebody to forgive you or something that you done did. You got to forgive yourself. If you begin to relate to yourself in a way that causes yourself to have esteem and have confidence, we're not talking about ego, we're not talking about pride or grandeur. We are talking about a honest, pure esteem and confidence. If you begin to deal and sit with yourself and do self-correction and set goals for yourself and push yourself and stuff you don't like about yourself that's in your character because of the childhood trauma or what have you, edit. Somebody put edit or delete. Edit or delete. Assess, hold on, let's do this. Assess, edit, or delete. And put that right up in here and put it down here at the bottom of this here thing. This right here. This right here. Assess, do a body scan on yourself, introspection, look around. Assess what happened, the part you played. We're not talking about everybody else, because you only in control of you. We're not talking about everybody. Assess and see the part that you played in all this banga, and all of this carry-go bring come. See how you have played in all this here that you ready to cuss about. You about to go straight Kurt Franklin. Assess. And then once you discover how you done went and showed your whole hind end, showed your whole ass in this situation, and you acted like a whole nigga. Pure niggerment. Niggerment to the 10th power. Then at that moment, You can make a decision in your character. We're talking about 3 lessons that life, who is a master teacher, teaches us. There are many, but that money lesson, you want to be a master. That money lesson you got to pass, that people lesson, and that character lesson, you have got to work on you. When you look and see that you are actually the problem or how you contributed to the problem, you make a decision. You're going to edit this or you're going to delete it. And you in control of that. You. Now you need to ask God to help you. But don't you talk about what Lord doing. I guess God want me to stay like this because he ain't changing. God ain't changing you now. You got to change yourself. Assess, edit, delete. Assess, edit, and delete. Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. That's all I got to say. You ready to go to the next level? Click this link right here. The day my master teacher gonna be in there with me at 4 o'clock. And you do not want to miss it. Go ahead and sign up for the year. You done got your stimulus check. Invest $144 into yourself. And I'm going to show you how to get thousands. Some of you got millions. First time millionaires made in Patreon. Ain't God good? Hallelujah. And if you're a patron, you're able to come to my 3-day, 2-night event in July here in Atlanta at the Hyatt. And I'm going to pay your whole way. But you got to be a patron first. And we'll give you all the rest of the stipulations after you get over there, because we ain't putting it out here because it ain't none of y'all darn business. What we got going on as the MBN Network. All right, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I see you in just a little piece. Let me say this right here to you. I don't care how much it looked like a nickel. If it is wooden, it won't spin. Goodbye. See you later.